Hey, third grade. I hope you enjoyed watching the little intro video that was before on the introduction to line. You reviewed different types of lines, knowing that lines are not all straight. You can have curvy, twisting, looping, all sorts of different types of lines. But you also talked a little bit, or I talked a little bit about the line quality. How it's the same type line, but you're varying how it looks. So you can have a straight up and down line, which is called vertical, and you can make it dotted, or you can make it thick or thin. And what we're going to do for our assignment is an assignment called line hands, where we're going to trace our hands, and we're going to create one hand filled with line types. Then we're going to fill the other hand with different line qualities. So changing the line into a different look. May it go from thin to thick, or from thin to dotted. So I'm going to walk you through this process here. This one's one that I started before, but you can see this one's a little bit more finished here and here, okay? So what we've got to do first is we're going to trace our hand, and for some kids this is difficult, so just be patient with it. Just take your hand and put it down on the paper. Remember, you're going to use your hand you don't draw with, okay? So I'm going to start and just work my way around with my pencil. You don't have to do it real fast. And I got my fingers spread out, so I don't have any problems there. And some kids get frustrated with this. Just if you mess up, you can start over. It's not the end of the world. Now, something I'm going to do after I trace my hand, I'm going to make sure that I take the arm all the way off the edge of the paper, okay? So it looks like my arm's going into the paper. So my next hand I'm going to do, I'm going to use the same hand, don't switch hands. I'm going to trace my hand, and I'm going to put it a little bit on the first one. That's called overlapping, and that just creates some interest. So I'll trace it. Now run my arm off. So what I'm going to do next, once I get those traced, I'm going to outline them with marker, okay? So I've outlined the first one with black. And so you can see I've outlined there. And I'll do the same thing to the second one. So what I'll do there is outline that one also. So, first hand that we're going to do with the markers, we're going to fill it with some different type line types. So, I'll just start out with the red marker. We're going to use the markers for this, and we're going to create a pattern is what we're going to do. What a pattern is where you repeat the line. So here I'll do some straight up and down. Those are called vertical. And I'm just going to do several of them. And that's what creates the pattern, is when you repeat. And when you look around your house, you're probably going to see all sorts of different line patterns if you start looking. You see them on pillowcases, clothes, curtains, all sorts of different patterns you can see with line. So the next one here that I'm going to do, let's do some zigzags. And you see that I will repeat the zigzags there to create the pattern. Let me switch colors here. I'll do the thumb here. We'll do some curved. I'll repeat those. Up here on the pinky, why don't we do, I find twisting interesting. So let's do some twisting like little tornadoes there. up through there. Why don't we do some spirals? Those are like those big lollipops you see in the store. Take a brown one here. Let's do some, go back to some straight ones. Why don't we do some diagonals up through here? Remember, the diagonals are the ones that kind of go to the side. And here, let's do, I don't know, let's do some wavy here. Like waves of the ocean. Okay. So we've got that hand filled with different type lines. Now what we're going to do for this hand is we're going to do line quality. So down here at the bottom, I'm going to do some straight across, which are called horizontal. And I will do a couple of them. Let's do 3. I'll do them real thin. So now I'm going to change the line quality. So now I'm going to do them dotted. So I'm still going straight across with a horizontal line, but I'm just making that line dotted. So I'll do that 2 or 3 times, repeating it to make a pattern. And then maybe I will do a straight across one that is thick. I changed the quality, so I got a big thick one right there. Color that in. Okay. Now I'm going to switch my type of line, and I'll do a curved here. This will be neat coming down the finger. I'll start up here at the top and do some thin ones, but then as I start coming down, I'm going to make them thicker as they come down. So each time I'll make that curved line thicker and thicker. So this one right here, I have to color it in because it's so fat. So I've got it going from thin to thick. And I'll do one more and then we'll move on. On the thumb here, let's do diagonal. And then I'll make the diagonal dashed. Almost like one of those connect the dots things. So I change the quality there. Then I'll make one a little bit thicker. And I'll make some that are just really thin. Okay, so you see here with this one, I've changed the line quality. Now once you get that filled in, this is where you can come in with your crayon. When you're using your crayon to color in your hands, don't bear down real hard because you want the marker to shine through. So I'll work on coloring this hand in. And when I get done with that hand, I'll color this one in. Probably use a different color. Same concept. I'm not going to bear down real hard. And I'll fill that in also. And the last step you want to do, this area around the hands is called the background. Okay? You want to use that. Artists need to utilize their whole space. And we'll talk about space a little bit more later. But we don't want to leave that blank. So some ideas you can get. You might just take some dark coloring, bear down and fill it with different colors. Here they filled it like it's in the sky. But you notice the sky's going all the way to the edge. I've had students put their hands in outer space like they're floating in outer space or even underwater. But think of an idea that you can do for the background that you can draw out and color to where your whole image is filled. There's a student example at the end of the, at the bottom of the video, the picture on the website there. So good luck in completing your line hands, and I hope you come up with some interesting backgrounds with this project, okay? Good luck, guys.